Hey guys, it's Jill Fisk, Director of Spiritual Formation for Holy Yoga, and I am so glad you're joining us today. So April is the Holy Yoga Heart Opener Challenge, and I love that you're responding. I love that you're sharing stories, that we're seeing scripture that's moving you, and you're sharing your Instagrams, because I'm telling you what, I love that you're involved, whether you're a Holy Yoga instructor or whether you've been watching this entire thing unfold through the lens of Holy Yoga instructors around the nation. We are just so excited that you're here. So the month is not over, and I think God is still working and still inviting you to hop on. It's not too late. But I've been thinking a lot about the way in which He opened my heart in just a really big and profound way. It was June of 2011, and I was in the desert. Oracle, Arizona, to be precise, and I was on my Holy Yoga instructor training retreat. I came under the premise that I was going to walk out a Holy Yoga instructor, and what happened is that I got my instructor training, but He put a new heart and a new spirit in me when I was there. And I remember some of the teaching early on in the week, and one of our leadership team members was sharing the story of Abraham and Isaac, and Abraham's courageous willingness to be obedient to God, whatever the cost. And there was something that moved me. I've heard that story 1,000 times, and there was something that moved me in a new and profound way. And I began to see myself physically, I could feel it in the posture of supported reclined bound ankle, which is a happy place for me. We're talking like, the bolster and blocks and strap and the whole bit. Check it out if you're unfamiliar with that pose. But she was talking about hinds feet in high places. And the main character in that book, Much Afraid, was literally asking the Lord, bind my heart to the altar. And when I came on retreat, there were so many things that God had worked through in me. And I was a little overwhelmed and caught off guard when I realized how much shame I was still carrying on. And God said, no more. You can't carry that load of shame anymore. So here's what I'm going to do. I'm going to bind you to the altar. I'm going to expose your heart. And instead of condemning, instead of reliving the experience, what I'm going to do for you is tie you down so that you're still. And I'm going to speak words of love in your ear. And you're going to let me, because this is the only place that I can heal you. I need you, and I need all of you. And it was that experience that where I've learned to be still, where I've learned that being still before the Lord is not a place of condemnation. It's not a place of scorn or the continual ripping off of the Band-Aid, but it's a place of healing. And I want to just read for you. I was recalling this a few months ago, and I wrote a journal entry, and I have to share this with you. And this is sort of a recap of Psalm 32. And my recap is this. You called me out of the slimy pit. You set my feet upon your holy mountain. You lovingly and tenderly cradled me, and you began to bathe my tainted mind in your grace. You watered my soul. Nourishment, refreshment, total sunlight, dry, cracked soil. But you watered me. It was harsh. There was no hiding. Eyes stung. It was so bright. You bandaged me. You bound me. You set me on your altar. I was afraid of the sacrifice, that it would be the end. You moved in close and whispered love into my bones. Life began to sprout. Grace emerged. Obedience was born. The beginning of no longer being small. So friends, I just want to encourage you that to have an open heart sometimes means allowing Him to bind us to the altar so that He can speak love. Because there may be no other way that our heart can be open without hearing His words of forgiveness and grace. God bless you. Move into those open heart spaces. It's the beginning of a wide open soul. Blessings.